I'm Dale Lawrence. Welcome to the Travel Show.
Fly different, feel extraordinary. Bangkok Airways, Asia's boutique airline.
Thanks for joining us. Later in the show, we'll be dropping in on the celebrations at the Shangri-La Hotel in Bangkok as General Manager Thierry Douin hosts a party to celebrate the hotel's 25th anniversary. We'll also be rounding up the latest news from the world of travel and tourism. But first, we talk to the General Manager of a hotel that enjoys a very prominent position on the Bangkok city skyline. Stay tuned as Sriram Kalaisam goes on the record.
Amazing Thailand, just as amazing as you remember.
Sriram Kalaisam, thank you very much for going on the record. Sriram, I mentioned in my introduction that this property enjoys a very prominent position on the Bangkok city skyline. But what are you doing to maintain your competitive edge in a already overcrowded five-star hotel sector in Bangkok?
Okay. Thanks, Dale, for having me on the show. Banyan Tree, Bangkok, Banyan Tree by its name automatically attracts a certain type of traveler, which is a leisure traveler. But having said that, you know, we, as any good five-star hotel and a city hotel, we aspire to have a good mix of business and leisure. So we've been fairly lucky in that getting the leisure part of the business has been almost easy because of the fact that we are a brand that's synonymous with luxury leisure travel. But being a city hotel, we've worked quite hard in the last 15 years to establish ourselves as a destination which is very easy for a corporate traveler to come in and enjoy all the facilities that we have, plus the MICE facilities in terms of banquet rooms and ballroom that we have is perfect for a medium-sized meeting rooms. So we never really gone aggressively into the leisure market because of our name. However, we've had to work hard, and we have to work harder now with the influx of so many new hotels coming into town. We've really had to work hard to maintain our market share, particularly in the corporate business.
And how are you working hard? What are you doing to set yourself apart from the competition? And how are you selling the Banyan Tree Bangkok? What are the definitive USPs that would set you apart in your mind from your competitors?
What we are seeing more and more, even with the corporate market, there is a certain level of leisure and relaxation that is required, which is perfect for us because gone are the days when meetings used to be purely meetings. Nowadays, you see a lot of guests who come here for meetings who expect to have fantastic, relaxing breaks in between, want to have things to do outside of their meetings. So we are perfectly set up because not only do we have a world-class spa, which is award-winning, we also have a fantastic selection of restaurants. And two I would like to really highlight because this is the one that is most in demand with our corporate guests, which is the Apsara, which is on the river. We got a rice barge that we are the only hotel which is not on the river, being in a city location, but we still operate a luxury river cruise which serves dinner. But then apart from that, of course, the world famous Vertigo, which is our rooftop restaurant, yes, which serves Western Grill. That's another reason why guests choose to stay with us because they know for a fact that one, outstanding outlet which they would love to go and visit. So those are the two key USPs, apart from our spa, of course. And I think these are all underpinned with one crucial element, which I think in Thailand, service is something that's a given, but a banyan tree quality service is certainly, I would say, a USP that, that underpins the whole selection of restaurants, plus our rooms, plus our spa.
Okay, I mean, you mentioned two different types of dining experience that your guests can enjoy here. Now, you've got the Vertigo restaurant and bar up on the right on the top, 61st floor.
Correct.
I mean, that was very, very interesting. That used to be the helicopter landing pad, didn't
Correct.
it? But now it's converted into a very dramatic dinner setting, isn't
Correct.
it?
Correct.
From where you can see Bangkok at night.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In all its glory. And then you also mentioned about your river cruise.
Correct.
So how does that work? You presumably put your guests into a bus or a coach,
Correct.
do you, and take them down to the
river city.
to the river bag.
Correct. We just take them to the river city where we have a berthing place which we which we share with other operators. But fundamentally, we just take care of the guests right from the time they book with us, including their transportation, taking them from the hotel to the river city, putting them on the boat, taking them on a cruise up until the P017 bridge, explaining to them all the landmark locations along the river. As you know, the city has got some beautiful temples and palaces along the river, along with fantastic cuisine from our signature Thai restaurant. And then we bring them back, drop them off. Again, there is a van waiting for them, which brings them back to the hotel.
Right.
It's not just for hotels, guests who are staying in our hotel, but it's also open to other city hotel guests who want to experience something that is not mass market.
Or indeed, just people who live and work in Bangkok.
Absolutely.
Whether they be Thai or
Correct.
Expats.
Expats, yes.
Yeah.
It's something that's different.
You don't cook on board the rice
We
boat?
do.
You do?
We do.
you
We have
really?
a full-fledged kitchen at the bottom.
That's probably a little bit unusual, isn't it? I mean, a lot of these sort of river cruises, the food is pre-cooked and simply
Correct.
taken on board in containers ready to serve.
Correct.
So you're cooking it fresh on board.
Correct. And that's why I underline that we are the only hotel who are not on the river, which makes it even more challenging for us. But in order to mitigate the quality or lack of quality, we basically put in a kitchen in order to avoid any compromise in terms of quality. Other hotels like the Riverside Marriott or Hilton or Shangri-La, they all have kitchens which obviously can supply.
Yes.
But in our case, we chose not to take that risk, and we put a kitchen in there. That's why we spliced 2 rice barges, because 1 rice barge wasn't enough. So we basically put 2 rice barges, sort of cut them in the middle, splice them together in order to make a boat not too cramped. It only seats 60 people, but it
60.
60,
yeah.
And 64 to be precise.
Right.
And we got a kitchen at the bottom, which makes sure that we give some top quality cuisine.
Just coming back to Vertigo, now we're in the middle of the rainy season here in Bangkok. I have seen the remarkable speed in which your staff at Vertigo
Yes.
Get the guests down undercover in the event of the rather typical early evening thunderstorms.
Correct.
I mean, it's a military operation, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you took the words out of my mouth, the military operation, because we do practice a lot. We do spend a lot of time ensuring that the quality of the experience doesn't get compromised, particularly from a guest point of view, because a lot of our guests actually plan the Vertigo dinner as part of their last dinner before leaving Thailand.
Yes.
So it's a very important event for them, and we recognize that. So in order to make sure that that doesn't get compromised, we make sure that the transition is as seamless as possible, and we make sure that the food, if they are in the middle of a course, we basically redo the main course or whatever the course they might be on. We really make sure that the experience is not compromised.
For the moment, Sriram, thank you very much indeed. We'll be back with more with Sriram Kalasam after this short break.
If you think traveling to historic sites is boring, the great ancient capital of Thailand, Sukhothai, will surely change your perspective. Sukhothai Historical Park covers an area of 70 square kilometers. One of the most important historic sites located in this great historical park is Wat Mahathat, a large temple in the center of the ancient city which houses more than 200 stupas. On the south side of the Great Stupa, Phra Atharot, a large standing Buddha image, is enshrined. UNESCO declared the historical park a World Heritage Site in 1991 because of its outstanding architecture representing early Thai artistry. Travel with pride. This is Thailand.
Amazing Thailand always amazes you.
Welcome back. I'm talking to Suram Kalaisan from the Banyan Tree Hotel in Bangkok. Suram, CSR, corporate social responsibility, it's a very popular buzz phrase in Thailand now. And actually it's been here for a lot longer than the term CSR. But it's something that the Banyan Tree is very committed to, isn't it? Not only here in Thailand, but indeed throughout all your properties across the region.
Correct.
But what specifically are you doing here in Thailand to, if you like, improve your CSR profile?
We started off just developing a tin mining site into a vast green zone, really. And that is somehow our fabric, and that somehow CSR has been part of our culture.
In which country was this? This was
Banyan Tree, Phuket.
In Phuket, right.
So this was a tin mining site, and then it was written off, and we developed it, Kun KP and Kun Claire, our chairman and his wife, and they really started this.
And they're very committed, aren't they, to this?
Very committed. At the same time, we've always been very careful not to use this as a buzzword and be committed and serious about it. So we go to Maldives. Conservation projects are a big part of the guest experience. It's not just something that we do, but we involve our guests in it. So the Green Imperative Fund, which is a fund that each guest who stays with us for one night, they can contribute $1 towards these Green Imperative Fund, which goes towards CSR efforts. Specifically for this property, we do a lot of things. One of my performance indicators as a general manager of this hotel is that we have to plant enough trees to offset the carbon footprint that we create for operating this hotel. So whether it is a generator or whether it is all the electricity that we need, so whatever we expend in terms of carbon emissions, we have to plant that many trees in order to offset that. So,
and are you doing that tree planting in one particular national park, or have you got several locations?
Well, we go to specific locations, which changes every year. But in 2 weeks' time, we are going to the closest mangrove plantation, and we're going to put a lot of trees. We're going to plant. It's a group activity. It is part of our sort of team building / CSR. So we try to go out there and plant these trees. That's a very important.
So you're going to be personally wading through the mangroves?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is Samut Songkram, which is where we are going to.
Yes.
And it's a fun project to be there. It is something that we all take pride in. It's not something that we do purely because it's a CSR must-do or it's a KPI, but it's something that we truly believe.
You're going to get very muddy,
we do.
But I think you're going to have a lot of fun doing it.
Not only muddy, but a lot of mosquito bites. You know, so I've done this in the past, so I can tell you how it works.
And you get your staff involved in this?
Absolutely. We get representatives from each department, from different levels, not just managerial. Could be rank and file. All our associates join together. We take a couple of buses. We head down out of town. It's like a picnic. At the same time, we do something good.
There's
for
probably some singing, some karaoke on the bus.
You're in Thailand, so you can't miss out on the singing. So yes, that's
Who's the first one to the microphone, I wonder?
Not me, I can assure you. Apart from that, we also do something which we have just started. You can see around you, we are in the club lounge. We got a lot of these black and white paintings and photographs, actually, and these are from art exhibitions which we just started. This is the first one, and these are basically showcasing indigenous Thais who live around Thailand, which are not very well known to travelers. So we are in touch with different galleries, different artists to showcase some part of lifestyle that your average traveler to Thailand may never go. And we want to showcase these artists and life in Thailand. And what we told the artists is it's a totally non-profit. If they do sell anything, 10% of whatever they sell will go towards our CSR spendings, and the rest will go back to them. And the advantage for them is, of course, that they get to showcase their work in our hotel. And for us, the advantage we feel is that it enriches the guest who stays here, who may never get an opportunity to go and visit the northeast of Thailand or the south of Thailand, where the indigenous people live. And in future, we plan to use the same to showcase the art of celadon, which is a very traditional pottery made in Thailand. Yes. So we hope that is going to also enhance our reputation in CSR. Another very important project that is close to my heart is the Duang Pratip Foundation, which is basically a Tungmamek. It's a school for underprivileged children, where we take a few kids and we have the management of our hotel mentor them. So we basically mentor them, we talk to them, we guide them, we have frequent interactions with them. We go to the school, we host dinners sometimes.
Where is the school?
Just behind us in Tungmamek, near the police station in the back there.
Okay.
It's a school, and there's a lot of young children who are at a very impressionable age. We hope that by working closely with them and having somebody mentor them, we'll be able to make a difference to their life. Apart from that, we also sponsor 6 to 7 girls from UNICEF who are basically from very poor backgrounds in the northeast, and we give them apprenticeship programs to work in the hotel. And at the end of their apprenticeship, if they want to work with us, we give them jobs. And the last but not least is the vertical marathon, which goes to the Thai Red Cross. And we feed, it's basically formula feeding for children whose mothers have got HIV infections. So this is a race that we organize every year, normally in the 4th quarter of the year.
And this is where the marathon runners are climbing, I think it's over 1,000 steps, isn't it?
Correct.
From the ground floor up to the Vertigo restaurant.
1,200 plus steps. It's only 200 meters, but it's totally vertical. It's not an easy race, but it's a very different kind of muscle that you use. But it's all for fun. Again, everything that is contributed towards the race goes to the Thai Red Cross Society.
Well, that's another very good cause. I'm tempted to ask you, Sram, if you've already chosen your running gear for this year's marathon, or are you standing there with a starting pistol? What's your role going to be?
As a general manager, I do have to be the host, so I'm going to play it safe. And
so you'll be there, but whether you're running up those stairs or simply walking rather gingerly, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. I think this happens later in the year, doesn't it? Sort of November time?
It's the last week of October and first week of November. We are still juggling dates depending on other events that are happening around town to make sure that it doesn't clash with any other race.
And you raise money for the Thai Red Cross through the participants.
Correct.
Getting sponsorship, is it? That's how it works,
Correct.
is it?
Correct.
Okay.
All the registration fees goes towards the Thai Red Cross. We make a contribution to Her Royal Highness, the Princess, and then that in turn goes to the children for formula feeding.
I'm tempted to suggest that if you reverse the process and started the marathon at the top,
you might want to participate.
Well, I'm not so sure that I would, but I'm just wondering, you probably get a lot more competitors, wouldn't you? It must be an awful lot easier coming down than it is running up those 1,000 steps.
But it's not going to be as strenuous, as going up. But it's a lot more fun. You get a drink up there, you get a bit of a massage.
I think you need a drink way before the 61st floor, Sriram. Are there drink stations on the way up?
Every 10th floor you have a drink station. Of course, there are fans, and there are people who bail out, and we give them a bit of a rest and a pep talk, and they get back on up. So,
I'd love to be hearing your pep talk. Sriram, thank you very much indeed for going on the record.
You're welcome.
Very nice to see you. There's promising news for the popular Thai holiday town of Phuket, with a report just out showing that average hotel occupancy on the resort island reached 73% in the first half of this year. This has given hotels a much-needed boost in revenue as more tourists, in particular from Russia and China, flock to hotels and resorts in Phuket. And the island's airport is expecting to handle a record 4 million passenger arrivals this year. Boutique airline Bangkok Airways is hinting at a listing on the Stock Exchange of Thailand. The company's latest financial results show an encouraging increase of 15% in operating profit and a 29% increase in revenues. The airline, currently privately owned, is expecting to carry more than 3 million passengers this year. A public offering of shares would generate capital to pay for expansion plans in line with the establishment of the ASEAN Economic Community in 2015 and a region-wide open skies policy. And congratulations to the organisers of the Bangkok Chefs Charity Dinner. When the travel show spoke to Nuntia and Patruin Hamungung, they told us that they were hoping to raise around 6 million baht from this year's fundraiser. But dinner guests at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel bidding in the silent auction pushed the total amount raised to some 12 million baht. All the funds raised will be donated to the Border Patrol Police Schools project in Thailand under the patronage of Her Royal Highness Maha Chakri Sirindorn.
Amazing Thailand, just as amazing as you remember.
Where is that car bringing those bicycles? Let's follow and find out. Oh, it's coming to Tung Salang Luang National Park, the same destination as us. Here, we can choose to stay in the accommodation provided by the national park, or we can camp in a tent. The national park is a fertile savanna thriving with various kinds of plants and wildlife. At night, we can watch the wildlife led by the national park staff. And in the morning, we awake to the fog. Let's take a deep breath. It helps clean our lungs. Then, we can spend our time in the late morning riding a bicycle. Tung Salang Luang is so cool.
And so to the Shangri-La in Bangkok, where we joined staff and guests as they celebrated the hotel's Silver Jubilee. Thierry Duan, you're the general manager of the Shangri-La Hotel. It's a great honour for you, of course, to be hosting this Silver Jubilee party this evening. Where were you 25 years ago when this hotel first opened?
That's a very good question. Let me think where I was 25 years ago. Actually, I was in Dubai at that time. I had already started my career. I was in a hotel in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. And then after that, actually in 1987, I came to Asia, and that was my first posting in Jakarta. And since then, I've stayed in all my time in Asia. So I've been here basically over 24 years now.
So this is probably a property that you've known very well even before you became the GM.
That is correct, because I was actually posted in Bangkok 10 years ago for different companies. So it's my second stay in Bangkok, basically.
Now, this is a very special hotel, isn't it, Thierry? I mean, you enjoy a fantastic position right on the banks of the Chao Phraya River. The hotel has stood the test of time. There's a lot of new properties built up around it, but you've retained your popularity. You've certainly retained your price levels, because while other hotels have been driving down their prices, you've maintained a healthy room rate as far as your own bottom line is concerned, haven't you?
That is true, yes. I mean, this hotel has just undergone a major renovation. We've spent over $60 million to basically redo completely the main Shangri-La wing of the hotel. So that's one of the reasons why we want to keep our rates the way they are. And I don't think, frankly, it helps dropping the rate. I think it's very short-sighted. But to answer your earlier question, what makes this hotel very special? It's the staff. I mean, we've got over 950 employees in this hotel. And they are the one who make the difference. They are the one who make this stunning building a home away from home for many of our guests. And in fact, many of the activities we have surrounding the 25th anniversary of this hotel are really for our employees. Only 2 days ago, we had our owner who came actually all the way from Singapore to celebrate with all our employees, long service employees, awards that were given to our 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 and 25 years. I mean, we've got 55 staff that are still working with us since day one. And that's a testimony of loyalty, commitment to a brand like Shangri-La.
It's a remarkable testament to their loyalty, and I guess reflects very well on the management of the hotel in terms of looking after their employees.
I mean, let's face it, our people are our number one asset as far as I'm concerned, because, you know, if they're happy, if they're proud to work for Shangri-La, they are likely to excel in their job, they're likely to delight our guests, and that's what we are striving to do, delighting our guests on every single occasion. And if guests keep coming back here, our owners will be happy. So, you know, it's easy to say. It's easier said than done, because it's a lot of work, obviously. You know, we have to keep motivating our people, but they are the one who makes the difference, really.
Finally, Thierry, can I just ask you to sort of gaze into your crystal ball? We've got a new government about to take office here in Thailand. Are you confident about the year ahead after troubled times in recent months and years for Thailand? Do you think we'll see a more stable period for tourism, and as a result, more high-spending tourists coming to Bangkok and staying in hotels like this one?
Yeah. I really hope so. I mean, what Thailand has gone through over the past 2-3 years is very unfortunate, but clearly it does signal a certain state in the country. Okay, we have a new election took place. I think they went very well. It was a clear result. Politics aside, I simply hope that basically the country will move forward. I think Thailand has a lot to offer when it comes to tourism. I've been in this part of the world over 20 years. I think probably Thailand is Asia at its best when it comes to culture, when it comes to art, when it comes to sceneries, a variety of the country. The people are really wonderful people, so I'm confident that yes, the country will move ahead, and we'll see again occupancies going up and rates going up. And
well, we certainly hope so for the sake of this hotel and indeed your many competitors in the city. Thierry Duan, thank you very much for talking to the Travel Show, and we hope you have a very successful Silver Jubilee anniversary party tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the evening.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Amazing Thailand always amazes you.
Well, that's it for this week's show. My thanks to Sriram Kalaisam from the Banyan Tree and to Thierry Duan from the Shangri-La. So until the same time next week, from everyone on the Travel Show, is goodbye.